How did you come up with the Terminator? Take us there, and the Matrix.
It was a script in a book. The Terminator is the prequels to the beginning of the Matrix. Sarah Connor is actually Neo's mother. So JC, John Connors, Jesus Christ, grows up to be Neo, one and the same in the Matrix. The Matrix is in the future. The Terminator is the past. It's time travel, past, present, and future time travel. It's the second coming of the Christ, the evolutions of consciousness, man versus the machine. So the machines, the Terminator machines, hear that a child is going to be born that's going to terminate them in the future when they oppress man. See, it's a man versus the machine. It's God's children versus man's children, which was technology.
So man versus nature.
Exactly. So the Terminator has the time travel to the past because they know it's Sarah Connor, and they have to kill her, terminate her, so she won't have the baby. And Kyle Reese, he comes from the future to protect her, and he inadvertently gets her pregnant. And he has to go back to the future. And so it's the Immaculate Conception, because now she's pregnant and she fell in love with a man, but did it really happen? Did he exist? And then this child, when you see the three Terminators, the boy, and then the man-child, subconsciously he doesn't know why the Terminator is trying to kill him until he's hidden out in the city, in the Matrix, the future. When he reaches 30 years of age, the rebellion, reloaded, revolution starts. And the rebels come and they find him because they've been watching him all along. That's what the Guardians and the Sentinels are all about. And so they wake him up to his purpose. They take him to Morpheus to train him to fight the machines. They take him to the Oracle because of the prophecy. So this is the whole epic story. It's an epic. It reminded me of Muhammad Ali. He was a very, very great friend of mine. And the Neo character is actually created from him, being a black superhero for us, a living one at that time.
But where does it come from in your DNA? Your grandparents?
Well, my grandmother, full-blooded Cherokee, she was a shaman. So the Oracle is actually created from me. I created those characters, and it's based on myself as a visionary seer.
There was a variety of more modest projects that came up, and some of those were offered to me, including a couple of slow motion bullet shots that are fired out of Blade's gun.
Donate to the channel, man. FB Lil Film, Cash App, FB Lil Film, for better videos and support. Let's get it. I do this for you. I do this for the audience. I do this for my subscribers. I do this shit for the streets. Let's get it. How is Blade, the vampire movie with Wesley Snipes, related to the Matrix movie with Keanu Reeves? Written by this black lady, I forgot her name, but I put a picture of her up in her name. And I can't even believe I forgot her name because she's a legend. She don't call herself the mother of the Matrix, she the creator of the Matrix. That's the #1 lady right there. But anyway, how are they related? Because they both exposing the Illuminati. Blade was going against the Illuminati. in the secret society that was ruling the world. And Neo was going against the Illuminati, the secret societies that was ruling the world, keeping the humans confused. In the Matrix, you're dealing with robots and artificial intelligence. Now, if you study artificial intelligence and study the New World Order and demonology that's within the New World Order and the Illuminati through their main top religion, which is Luciferianism, and their main top organization, which is Freemasonry, the Freemasons, you understand that artificial intelligence and technology is used as a vessel so that beings from other dimensions and other planets and other parts of the universe can operate over here using these high-tech robots and technology as vessels.
When you look at the movie industry, they've given us bits and pieces of information that relates to artificial intelligence. And those bits and pieces of information, again, are presented to us in some form of entertainment. And so when the real agenda finally unfolds, we are kind of dumbfounded because it was there. They can use the whole idea of, well, we told you, we showed you, it was in the movies, it was in the music. I would even say that the automated systems or phone systems are some form of artificial intelligence as well. And so since we are surrounded by it, most people, when they actually pull the curtain off of their real agenda, are going to be like, well, it was to be expected. But they don't understand that there is something that artificial intelligence is going to do that's going to interrupt their whole flow of life.
Where are they going with this new technology? They want to create a perfect thinking computer by impressing the minds of millions of people, their habits and actions on an artificial brain. Man is full of flaws, but they want to create an artificial intelligence after the mind of men. Let us create God in our image. Do you see where they're going with this? In an article titled Google and CERN Partnering on Future Large Hadron Collider Storage Needs, Quantum Computing. Google today signed an agreement with the European Organization of Nuclear Research to collaborate on joint research and development, more commonly known as CERN. The premier physics lab will be working with Google on quantum and cloud computing, as well as machine learning. Machine learning? What is this machine trying to learn? So this machine can learn? Are you understanding what they're doing here? Think about this, right? It goes on to say that Google finds these data management, analysis, and processing challenges exciting, and has already been working with the U.S. Fermilab and the Brookhaven National Laboratory, BNL, to store and analyze data from the LHC using the Google computer engine. Now I have a question for you. If CERN was just a particle collider, then why is it trying to learn from Google? There are over 1.2 million terabytes of information on the net, and they want to plug this into CERN. CERN is a quantum computer, an artificial intelligence that they are trying to boost its machine learning. Technology is actually trying to evolve through quantum entanglement, which is actually demon possession. Now, we've seen it in the science fiction movies, the evolving of technology, and we were entertained by it. But now this fiction has become a reality. Gordy Rose is a founder and CTO of D-Wave. He is known as the leading advocate for quantum computing and physics-based processor design. The D-Wave computer is a quantum computer that sends information into another dimension in order to receive information back with greater power. The D-Wave quantum computer is supposed to be smarter, faster, and more intelligent than anyone or anything in this dimension. And it is being fed this information from demons, from the spirit realm.
So what does this have to do with aliens? So Sam Harris, who I quite admire, is a very interesting guy, was reciting this parable at a TED Talk that he was giving, and it goes something like this. So, say I'm the President of the United States. So I receive this message from the heavens. So my microwave dish, my SETI dish, finally captures something. And what it says is, in 50 years, or 13 years, we're coming to your planet. You got to be ready. Now just imagine what would happen if that happened. A super intelligent alien race beamed down a message to all of us Earthlings saying, we're coming July 13th, 2030, and boy, you better be ready because the mothership is landing right on the front lawn of the White House or wherever you wanted to land on that day. The amount of resources that would be marshaled to try to figure out what to do would encompass the whole world. AI is just like that. So when this thing that I'm talking about happens, it's going to be exactly the thing that you're thinking about those super intelligent AIs. So the one thing I can tell you is they're not going to be like us. So alien means, different. These things that we're building are not going to be people. They might be really smart, they might be really good at all sorts of different things, but they're not going to be like us. They're going to be aliens. And they're going to be, I'm sorry to say, way smarter than every single person in this room in ways that we can't even comprehend. So this, of course, triggers a lot of alarm. One of the guys who talks about this is Elon, who says things like this, like, when you do this, beware.
I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know all those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, he's sure he can control the demon. Didn't work out.
I take it there will be no HAL 9000 going up to Mars.
HAL 9000 would be easy. It's way more complex than, it would put HAL 9000 to shame. Yeah. Sounds like a puppy dog.
But these words, demons, doesn't capture the essence of what's happening here. I don't know if any of you are turn-of-the-century weird fiction fans, but there's this guy named H.P. Lovecraft, who's a very famous American weird fiction author. And he espoused a view which is called cosmicism. And the essence of cosmicism is cosmic indifference. So what he was saying is basically, yes, there are these massively intelligent entities out there, but they're not good, they're not evil. They just don't give a shit about you even in the slightest. The same way that you don't care about an ant is the same way they're not going to care about you. And these things that we're summoning into the world now are not demons, they're not evil, but they're more like the Lovecraftian great old ones. There are entities that are not necessarily going to be aligned with what we want.
Wait a minute. Did I just hear Gordy Rose say that the entities they're summoning into the world are not demons, but they're more like the Lovecraftian great old ones? Lovecraftian great old ones? Do you know what he's talking about?
Like avatars. Because some of these demonic beings and some of these aliens can't survive on this planet because the climate and the way the earth is made is different than what they're used to on their home planet, but they have manipulated their bodies through a high advanced medical field to prolong their stay on Earth, but they can't really live on Earth. It's just like a astronaut can't live in space, but he can be in space and on the moon for a certain amount of time, as long as he got the suit that he needs for protection and the resources that he needs that can be utilized systematically wherever he at. But at some point he'll have to go back to his homeland, because you can't live in a spacesuit forever. So it's like the same thing here, but they coming over here to do it, to take the resources from Earth and control the Earth and use the people as sheep. But they can't do it until they change the climate, or terraform, what they call terraform the whole entire Earth, so that it'll be habitable for them. And that's why they want the human population down to 500 million, because they're going to have their secluded land. If the 500 million is going to have their secluded land, which is really like a factory or a prison or a concentration camp, but it's built like a society. Where, going back to the Blade movie, where the La Magra that was going to control the whole world in the Blade movie, it'll be the reptilians, because the reptilians are vampires. I'll break that down later, but stay with me. Have a sub-land for the humans, that way that you can systematically put out the food that you need from them, the blood. Vampires want blood. They're freaked out about blood, they love blood, and they need blood to sustain themselves. If you did the research on the reptilians and the Illuminati, you know that the reptilians get a drug and a energy source, like a food source, called adrenochrome from the blood of human beings, specifically babies, because when you scare your prey, the reptilians, the adrenochrome hormone releases itself more and more, so the more scared they are, the better it is. So for babies, it's even more better. Now let's break it down. Let's not forget that the reptilians from the planet Draco, or the other planets that's coming over here to manipulate Earth, is wearing what they call skin. They able to shapeshift, use certain type of technology to make it appear that they are human, but they not, or they wearing prosthetics, or either they just wearing simply prosthetics, because it's different types of reptilians. Some reptilians born on Earth, so some of them is DNA is a little different, so they can live on Earth, but they might still look too much of a reptilian to be in a normal society. So they wear prosthetics, and they want blood, so that's the same thing vampires do. They disguise themselves in society. And when you go back to the Matrix, you see those little alien things that was running around the real world while people was plugged in a system that was chasing the ship that they was on. That ain't nothing but artificial intelligence, and demons or aliens are operating them artificial intelligence. That's how they controlling the world. Now they using humans as batteries in the Matrix, depleting their energy. It's different alien species. It's millions, trillions of alien species. This universe is infinity. So whichever ones that's doing their work on this planet to get what they want and what they need, and this war of planet Earth is doing what they need to do to get what they need. So both of these, Blade and Neo, was fighting against the same system. And when you look into the Blade movie with the 12 leaders of the Vampire Committee, that's the same thing with the 12 tribes of Israel within the Bible, which is Illuminati. You know, some Illuminatis are so-called good, but most of it is bad. But just like the Anunnaki and the disagreeables and the agreeables when it comes to Anunnaki. But I'm not going to get too far in that, because the main topic of this video is to compare and show you that Blade is the father of the Matrix. They're talking about the same story. Now check this clip out.
This is the construct. It's our loading program. We can load anything from clothing to equipment, weapons.
Right now, we're inside a computer program.
Is it really so hard to believe?
This isn't real.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain. This is the The world as it was at the end of the 20th century. It exists now only as part of a neural interactive simulation that we call the Matrix. You've been living in a dream world, Neo. This is the world as it exists today.
You better wake up. The world you live in is just a sugar-coated topping. There is another world beneath it, the real world. And if you want to survive it, you better learn to pull the trigger.
All of mankind was united in celebration. We marveled at our own magnificence as we gave birth to AI.
AI? You mean artificial intelligence?
A singular consciousness that spawned an entire race of machines. We don't know who struck first, us or them, but we know that it was us that scorched the sky. At the time, they were dependent on solar power, and it was believed that they would be unable to survive without an energy source as abundant as the sun. Throughout human history, we have been dependent on machines to survive. Fate, it seems, is not without a sense of irony. The human body generates more bioelectricity than a 120-volt battery and over 25,000 BTUs of body heat. Combined with a form of fusion, the machines had found all the energy they would ever need. What is the Matrix? Control. The Matrix is a computer-generated dream built to keep us under control in order to change a human being into this.
Tonight, the age of man comes to an end. No more compromises.
We're gonna be gods.
Of course we are.
Is everybody thirsty? I hope you're all very fucking thirsty.